up, friends, YouTube and motorcycle enthusiasts? Accelerate here. We're getting right into it. Of course, we're getting right into it because I didn't start my GoPro at the starting line, but we are in Pennsylvania here for Tough Like RORR, the Keystone Challenge weekend. So this is going to be a 1 of 3 video set. So on with the action, because we're right into it. So I actually had time to kick on the GoPro because this was one of the first bottlenecks. Very dry, so we weren't racing in the rain. Actually, a lot of people were talking about how much traction there was, which was pretty awesome. But these first bottlenecks being in the amateur class were long enough for me to realize, hey, I need to turn my camera on and actually want to record this. So getting after it, I started to realize that a race was happening, which was I was pretty excited to be here. First time a Tough Like RORR event, as many of you know. You guys can kind of see how dusty it is. Not a lot of rain here, very dry conditions. I was using the tried and true Kenda Gnarly, and it worked really well for the entire weekend. I kept my air pressures up a little bit on this one just because they said it wasn't as technical as I'm setting on this hillside. It's definitely weird, kind of when you're racing. It's definitely a chess game that I'm still learning how to play chess. So when to wait, when to check out. Oh, look at that! He moved out of his own way, so that was pretty nice of him. Anyway, learn when to wait and when to choose another line, and sometimes take risky lines, and if it's worth it, or if somebody zips their bike out of your way and a line opens up, it's awesome. So definitely still learning the race game, but that's part of the excitement. So it's funny, as I was reviewing this footage, I actually really started to realize how bad my bike was running. And you guys know that I never complain about how my bike runs because it's usually running very well. But I started to notice that I had some low end, it seemed to be running very rich, and you can definitely hear it in the video. It's really rich and started to break up. And that's kind of a theme here in the next couple of videos, and I'll talk about how what my solution was and what ended up finally happening here coming up. Alright, so they actually put a check in for the qualifier, which was really cool because that helps with, there's only two checks, there's one in the middle and then the lap finisher. So the qualifier was, from my understanding, it's 2 laps, and they cut it off. I think they gave you 2.5 hours, if I remember correctly. And if you don't make, maybe it's 2 hours, I can't remember exactly, but if you don't make a lap in an hour or an hour and 15, then they basically cut you off to clear the field for the other pros, or for the pros to come in the second launch of the qualifier for the A guys, the pros, 40 plus experts, so on and so forth. Oh yeah, using my technique there, got around a few guys, which I have a feeling I'll probably see again. But nonetheless, passing people is always a good feeling. Definitely a morale booster as my heart rate's pinging. Classic tough like RORR views. Took just a second to glance at the scenery. This is a pretty cool spot, watching all the videos of tough like RORR and getting to be there was really cool. Though the qualifier was pretty tame, I admit there wasn't really a lot of hard enduro in the first qualifier. But it was really cool to have the exposure, and it was really neat. The trails were really well put together. The ups and downs were cool, but the qualifier itself was really probably what I would classify as just a technical hair scramble that was fast-paced. And look at me go, how fast I am. As you guys know, I'm definitely, number one, I'm not fast, and number two, I really don't have the conditioning to consistently ride as hard as I should be able to. So obviously something to work on. Next year is another year, and I got some lofty goals, but nonetheless, it was really cool to get out here and see what I was seeing, into bumping into logs and just completely learning how, completely forgetting how to log cross and relearn all of it again, how to ride my bike, and then resting and dying and then back. But yeah, good stuff overall. Pennsylvania was fun.
Good.
Ooh, you see that Johnny Walker double log cross? Yeah, I zapped it a little bit, and frankly, it got a little squirrely. But in the spirit of Johnny Walker was at Tough Like RORR this weekend, which was really cool to see him to come from the UK and the FIM World Series, as well as a few other Europeans. Sandra Gomez as well, which is always really cool, and I know that was a part of some of the podcasts and the lore this year of pulling, trying to get as many of the Europeans to come over and experience this. What's really kind of turned into a premier race. Tough Like RORR has kind of turned into like this legendary thing that people want to do. Nope, wrong direction. Of course, I got a little battle of the goats in me there, so pardon as I kind of recenter myself and realize I'm not in North Carolina, and that's not the second lap direction that I'm supposed to go. So still reeling with that one. My bike sounds so rich down low, and then you can tell like when I zap it, it cleans up, and yeah, it became very apparent as the more I rode it throughout the day, for sure. We're coming into the fan section, which was really cool, coming into a spot where there's a lot of spectators and people were yelling and stuff. Super cool. Yeah, made a lap and got a chance to go in for a second lap, so that was pretty cool. And I mean, while you're racing, if you can't get a chance to talk to a Talk Pro, just say hi. You know, who can you talk to? You know, as I was zipping around, feeling good, and almost ate a tree, but I didn't, so that was key. So that was pretty much the end of my footage, guys. I didn't take the chance to swap any more batteries. Lap 2 was much of the same. I was more tired, a little slower. And I ended up actually being 38th of 93 in C class, so a lot of talent. There were some savages, and that's 228 of 350 total overall. So yeah, definitely not the top 60. So looks like I was going to be racing the LCQ, which of course I knew I would. So coming up next, the LCQ, or the last chance qualifier for Tough Like RORR 2023. Hope you guys are enjoying the videos. More coming. Hope you guys get out there, get on two wheels, ride a dirt bike. This is Accelerate once again. Signing off.